I'd like to call tonight's Board of Health meeting for Monday, December 9th, 2024 at 6 o'clock. All members are present. First order of business, I'd like to accept the minutes from last month. Were there any minutes?
There's no minutes on the
We didn't
agenda.
have a meeting last month.
Right, we didn't have.
We got canceled.
That's right, so there's nothing to accept. Then moving right on, first order of business, 285 Washington Street, PNP of Associates, request to use White Knight in pilot application.
Okay, so
Give it to me.
in part of,
Just state your name for the record and what company you're with.
Sure, Pat Carrara from PNP Consulting.
so as part of using IA technology such as White Knight and stuff, and using a pilot program, the board has to accept and approve the pilot program. So I'm gonna let Pat explain what they're doing, and you have any questions, you can direct them to Pat.
All right, so I see everybody's got a copy of my letter there. So if you glance through it, that's probably the best explanation of why we're back again. We came here back in October. We had a couple of local upgrade approvals approved by the board for the system. But now we're back again, and this time we're asking that you, in effect, approve the plan that we presented to you, which gives us the ability to go to the state and get a pilot permit. The reason we need a pilot permit is that there is a couple of sections of the approval for the White Knight that, depending on how you read it, we don't explicitly meet. And one of those sections has to do with the size of the system. Depending on the town we work in, some towns draw a hard line, and apparently this is one with Kristen, that if you're over 2,000 gallons a day, you must have a pressure dosing soil absorption system. But the point of using the White Knight system is so that we don't have to replace the entire soil absorption system, is so we can retain the existing one and just improve the treatment to it and extend the life of it.
Can you Cliff Notes version what the White Knight system is?
So, Mr. Silver is here, he can much better explain it than I, what the White Knight system is. I'll let Bob take that.
Are you familiar with any of the aerobic treatment systems?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so White Knight was designed for biological remediation. Basically, it allows you to take a septic tank, take the covers off, and insert aerobic treatment equipment into it and convert it to an ATU.
So essentially you're injecting oxygen.
Yeah, it's like a fish tank
Into it.
pump.
Yep.
It creates aerobic bacteria.
Oh, I'm very interested in this. And have you guys had luck with it?
Yes.
Is it that?
There's a condo complex in town.
In one condominiums, I was reviewing.
We have one already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It isn't the same size or bigger?
It's over 2,000 gallons.
The one we have?
Yeah, the one we have.
So I'm assuming.
How old is that system?
Let's see,
It's
the
been there for
approval,
years.
the approval letter was January 5th, and the meeting was January 3rd, 2012?
Those are plans?
So
Yeah.
Could I peek at it
it's
real
been in
quick?
there,
Just a reduced size set.
so 12 years, and the system's not in failure. So pretty much what you're doing is you're making the bugs happy before they go into the field, so.
Right.
You're giving them
All
oxygen,
Yeah,
which,
all septic fields have what's called creeping failure, so eventually they all fail, but what this is doing is it's putting nice oxygenated bacteria in there, so it doesn't go in
Kind
alone.
of keep pumping it through.
So to maintain aerobic conditions in a leach field, you need to have 0.2 parts per million of free oxygen in the soil, okay? So in Rhode Island, what they've done is they said, all new septic systems, the leach field has to be within the top 18 inches, okay? But we're a mess, we wanna maintain above 0.2 parts per million. So we're delivering effluent at 4 parts per million or higher to the leach field. So in essence, we're taking the whole leach field and we're converting it into an aerobic digester. So all of the sludge that's been deposited over the last 15, 20, 25 years is then consumed by the bacteria, and that restores the natural porosity of the soil.
it's gonna reduce the biomat.
It's gonna eat the biomass.
So-
That's it.
I personally have been researching this,
They make residential versions.
oh yeah, for the past year. I am
The technology.
1000% on board with this.
For a long time.
Yep.
And how come it's not more common?
Cost.
Is it cost?
Well, no, so it is significantly less expensive.
Well, for a place, let me just, for a project like that, to add this would be somewhere about $325,000. But the idea is putting putting in water, you're cleaning the.
But I've had people, I know people that have put fish tank, just in the residential end.
Yeah.
Fish tank pumps, drill a little hole in their septic tank and put the, I don't know, probably giving everyone directions on how to do it, but
You're
I,
just pumping oxygen into it.
I'm very, very interested in it. I've had biomat issues and, you know, I mean, all of these products like ADOX and septic scrub, it's hydrogen peroxide, it's just giving more oxygen to
Correct.
the thing, so it's, I love the idea, personally, love it.
Hopefully this makes it so, I've owned that property for 32 years. I just as soon do the upkeep, I mean, you people have all gone by, we try to take real good care of it.
And you do.
And something like this is something, you pay the money now,
Might pay
but I
later.
have a feeling, and the other important point that I went over with both Pat and Bob when we looked into this. I know like in Canton, your aquifers are going way down. So much of the stuff that's getting pumped out is getting put out to the harbor after it gets cleaned.
Oh, yeah, there's a new movement to actually use some septic systems to recharge the
Yeah, because
aquifer.
that
Save
aquifer,
water.
especially when you have droughts, the aquifers are going down.
What I like about that is it goes in the tank, the ones that I've seen sit outside the tank.
We're actually going all
Yeah.
new tank.
And they're adding a tank to do this with.
It's awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone's ready to vote, let me know. I'm
Yeah, I don't have any issues.
completely on
So,
board with it. As long as you guys are,
Yeah.
I
I'm
think it's okay.
wholeheartedly make a motion to approve.
Second?
Third,
All those in favor, Mills, yes?
Yes.
Bueller, yes.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for your time, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
That's,
I think it helps we
that
already
makes
have one
me feel
figure.
better, cause I've been wondering about this and
You know, in 10, 20 years, they'll probably, when you building a new house, they'll probably make you put it in.
It's all going that way.
Oh, I had a house in
It'll
the
be less-
secret, I
it'll be less than-
was in
it'll be
Bay,
less
you
than
had
10
to put
years.
that in.
Yeah, my pet summer home, we have it in.
Yeah.
This is the guy, if you need questions,
Wouldn't that
use
make
him,
sense in those
that's the guy.
smaller lots in the village?
Touch us.
I'm sorry?
Wouldn't it make sense in those smaller lots down in the village and stuff like that, that don't have the septic yet?
Those are shallow, because they're all.
sir, you want plans back?
Oh.
So, but the real
I
thing
can
with
make as
those
many as I want.
is they should get the sewer line out sooner than later.
But Sweetville and down in there, they don't have it yet.
I know this, but it's
That's-
part of the sewer
There's
district.
still postage.
But you're right, I mean, you think about the areas like up around Ames Pond and stuff, where you're probably never gonna see sewer up there.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, like Cedar Street, Pine Lane, that still isn't, even though the village is up
Yeah.
Main Street and around, but no. not down there.
Advanced treatment has come
Baldwin
so
Street.
far over the last just 10 years that we can now take sewerage, okay? And this all started back in World War II. The end of World War II, Congress had 3 congressional committees, and one was how to fight a war in Africa, because we really thought World War III would be fought there. And the big thing was water. In Northern Africa, there is no water, okay? So they developed the first advanced treatment unit where you could put sewage in one end and fill a canteen from the other. And that has been privatized, and industry is taking a little while to catch up to the military. But now for $10,000, you can buy an advanced treatment unit that will take sewage and the outflow is literally meets the federal drinking water standard.
Don't know if I wanna drink it, but.
Yeah, no,
But,
and that's where we're going, with the population density in Massachusetts, it can't sustain what we're putting into the
No.
ground.
Yeah.
So we've gotta clean it up.
Very good.
Well, thank you.
well, thanks again for
Thanks,
your
gentlemen.
time, appreciate it.
Awesome.
Bye now.
And so another benefit, just as an educational thing, is when you do that, you're lowering the nitrites and nitrates, and that's what he's talking about when it comes to density, because that's one of the bigger problems with
Right,
the
because
water
they
table.
collect, yeah.
They collect. That's why there's a separation of 4 feet. Because what DEP figured out was that 2 feet of separation from the water table is enough to clean out naturally occurring organic nitrates and nitrites. So they doubled
Doubled
it,
it.
made it 4 feet because of
Gotcha.
error. And that's why on our residential repairs, we're allowed to go to 3, because we're still a
In that-
factor
with
of,
that in-
of, you know, half.
Gotcha.
So, but these type of systems, the more that they come out and the more they become cost effective, you'll see more, especially in zone 2 watershed applications. That's where they use, like, they do a denitrification like algorithm. It's 10,000 square feet is 110 gallons. So if you have a 40,000 square foot lot, you can do 4 bedrooms.
Yeah.
And that's, but if you don't have, so you have 30,000 square feet and you wanna do you can use one of these systems to,
IA systems, yeah.
IA systems to lower the rate, so.
And it's the only reason it had to come before us is just because of the size of it, because we haven't had.
Size
that
of it?
before. Yeah,
It's a non-conforming system.
okay, so it's different,
So the trenches, you're not allowed to have trenches longer than 100 feet anymore. And
okay,
these trenches are longer than 100 feet.
okay,
And it's very deep. It's
okay.
out of the water table, but it doesn't have the water table separation, so it does, it's
It's
non-compliant.
just different to what the laws are on the books
Right,
at this time.
they put it in 30-something years ago, and they've changed the laws 3 times since then.
Yeah,
So it's non-conforming, so that's why Kristen and I had a discussion, and we figured
Great.
piloting is the way
I
to
imagine
go.
that'll catch up, the more we see of the system,
Yeah.
the laws will catch
And
up.
it's the condo complex on Foundry Street, right?
Mhm.
The White Knight now.
No, it's on one turnpike, in Wood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I thought there was one on the other condo complex that they just redid
I
the
just don't, I
outside.
don't understand.
Gaslight one?
Yeah,
I think they did something in there too,
I don't
but that was
understand the
below the
name.
threshold.
White Knight,
Yeah, like,
whoever designed it,
yeah.
it's, I don't know.
Well, you're turning black water white, so there you go.
Someone's gonna have a
comes
problem.
in and saves the day.
Yeah.
Someone thought they had.
Moving right along, there are no betterments,
Nope,
staff notes.
Meeting schedule.
Meeting schedule for next year.
So we do what is it, the
Second Monday of each month is usually our meeting, with the exception of Columbus
I think
Day,
it's one holiday, right? Yeah.
Yep.
the Columbus Day,
So
yeah.
that'll land on a Tuesday, so if you have any issues with it, or if there's any holidays or things that are not recognized by the town or federally, but you won't be here, just, there you go, there it is, so let us know and we'll try to.
Sounds good.
I really have an idea of what I'm doing on December 8th of 2025.
ooh, I'm very busy,
No, we're
Right.
doing 45 minutes from now.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
we're all very busy on the thing.
We don't have to accept that, right?
No,
just,
no.
yeah.
No,
It's
just,
just
That way.
a discussion.
yeah, so,
Staff notes.
The only thing we had going on was, pertussis, whooping cough, as people in the schools probably got emails.
It seemed to have died down a little bit.
Well,
we had a case last week and,
Yeah, but, I mean, it seemed like a month ago, we were seeing it on the
as
ambulance.
Kristen
but
was
then-
explaining to us, we had a case in 2014, 2 in 2018, and we've had 8 cases
eight
this
so
year.
far.
Yeah,
So we don't know if it's the waning of the immunity of the vaccine, they're not sure yet, or it's making a little resurgence, but, you know,
I see a pushback like in the hospitals for people getting it than they used to. People used to really readily accept it, and there's a little bit pushback where people are like, no thanks. So, like, especially when people are having new babies, they recommend the whole family do it. And even like 10 years ago, it was pretty high compliance, and
Yeah.
I think it's a lot less.
okay.
We go through
that
that
could-
with the newborns.
Yeah. Kristen
your
had,
grandson.
right, I know.
Right.
Kristen had sent me an email that she had drafted to send to some of the local pediatricians, just to make sure that they're kind of like up and aware of it, to just be kind of on the lookout. Cause it also coincided with an increased uptick in walking pneumonia with kids, like mycoplastic pneumonia, which
Yeah.
also causes a lot of coughing for extended period of time. So just to have a lower threshold for testing, so that's good.
Yeah, this most recent case, that was, cause they have to do the contact tracing and, you know, this person was very active amongst the schools and sports and different things like that, so
Yeah.
there was quite a few people to,
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a lot out there. You know, when I went to get the vaccine, probably about, 4 weeks ago, I asked, I was at an urgent care and we haven't seen one case in here. So I thought maybe it was,
8 in Easton so far,
yeah.
So,
Cluster.
So that is,
yeah,
between here and the college,
Yeah.
yeah.
you know.
The college is that's its own.
it's an institutional
Yeah.
setting, therefore it's usually a problem.
Yep, it's
So-
different. You're having people from all over and tight living quarters.
Yeah. Also, Tim is really taking the reins on the permitting, and we,
All the renewals for the
all
year.
the renewals for the year, so we're busy doing that as well, so. And then the everyday stuff, so, but that's what's been going on. So,
Awesome.
Very good.
unless you can think of anything else, Tim?
Just, I do a drive through the mobile home park every day. There's, hopefully the new owners are gonna come in and take over, but there's been a lot of water main breaks.
That's changed hands?
It's supposed to. I don't know where it exactly stands, but it's still under receivership. There were 8 water mains last month, in there, and then they had a problem with, one of the, lift stations, so sewage was going down the street under the guy's trailer, just before Thanksgiving, so. But,
That was rectified rather quickly.
yeah, the receiver hopped right on it, it's just, you fix one water problem and you pressurize, the next thing you know, it pops over here, and the infrastructure there is
Not
poor.
great, yeah.
Are there water mains? Do they-
Water main whack-a-mole. So,
Exactly, so what is, do they come up out of the ground or are they
Yeah.
ground level?
So the icing, now it's winter.
Right.
So now it's a sheet of ice in one corner on Second Street, so,
Maybe we've had fires.
I mean,
people
the
using
actual
PTA.
water line is literally, from what I saw when I've seen them, when they've dug it up, it looks like irrigation line, it's not
garden
true
hose.
water line, and there's only
1 inch black pipe.
Yeah, water pit, there's one water pit for the whole park, so.
so the town brings the water to there, but they're responsible for maintaining the
The infrastructure.
infrastructure in there.
Locally.
70-something years old,
Yeah, okay.
so it needs to be redone, the whole thing. As well as cause it has a sewer treatment plant that does 36,000 gallons a day. And if you ever drive through there, just out of curiosity, you might see two blue, they look like, they're called frac tanks. And it's for the overflow. And on a rain event, we've had up to 80,000 gallons go into the system.
Gotcha.
Because the piping is cracked.
It's cracked.
And, you know, there's,
They fixed a good amount of that,
yeah,
so now they don't even use the frac tanks anymore,
yeah,
so,
Getting there.
yeah,
yeah,
so
and hopefully the new ownership will.
continue.
Gotcha. Well,
And
thank
I
you
trust
for
that you've
keeping a
had
good eye.
meetings and we're discussing the new ownership or we're reviewing what the needs are down there.
Expectations, yeah.
From an enforcement issue, I mean, because
So-
those residents deserve better.
And they do, and
Not from the
there's
town,
rent
but-
control in there as well, cause they weren't, the rents, they had a high rent and they weren't doing infrastructure like they said they were going to, so the town came down on them, and so now the rent is here. Now I imagine the new owners are like, yeah, we're gonna do this, but we probably have to bring, I'm just speculating, you know, so.
And have we met with the new owners or prospective owners
They
as a board?
They've come through, they came through the town, I know they met with Kristen, I wasn't here that day,
Okay.
but,
Yeah, we weren't involved in it, so it'd be Kristen that, so.
so, it's, the old company, there was some legal issues, and then there was a 2-year battle back and forth, they thought the property was worth this
I remember
And
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
down here,
And,
so,
and the town administrator and the assistant town administrator are quite aware of the infrastructure issues that, on our side and every other side, so they're aware of it as well, I'm sure, so.
No, I would like to see more discussion.
Yeah.
Or brought up to a meeting when Kristen's here and have another discussion about those people have endured so much over the years and they deserve our protection.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we can do from an enforcement stance or position, but.
so you're aware that the occupants own their trailers, and they pay rent
At least the
for water and sewer.
Yeah. So they have the right to get water and sewer, what they're paying for, yeah.
Correct, yeah.
But it sounds like you're kind of keeping an eye on
But
it.
then the trailers
Yeah.
themselves, they need to maintain
Their
their
own-
own trailers. and,
Gotcha, yeah.
It's not great, but it's a lot better than it was.
Okay.
I mean, if you went back 4 years ago, we would be hounding people and water leaks would happen, it'd be weeks.
Okay.
Now it's a day and a half, and they're repairing it.
Sounds like you guys have the finger on the pulse and.
The receiver,
very
yeah,
aware of
he's
it.
been very good and,
Good.
Yeah,
so,
Good.
so. I
Thank
mean,
you.
And either I do a drive-by once a day or Tim does.
Great.
We go through there just trying to stay on top of it. And I mean, if the dumpsters get too full, Tim calls them up, you know,
Yep,
And they're responsive.
yeah.
good,
You call, they respond. Good.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All
no.
right.
good to
The
know.
receiver, Frank, he's right on it, so.
Great.
He answers the email right away, and unless he's in court.
That's good.
Great,
But it's usually within hours. So if he's in court and gets something, boom, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you get a response. So,
Member notes, anyone? Bueller? Paul?
No, I just want to thank everybody for a good year. Guys,
Yeah.
everybody worked hard.
thank you.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully we have a banner year next year. I know, starting in January, February, I wanna get ahead of, his favorite subject, mosquitoes and ticks. I do wanna get ahead of that. I know
Well,
we
we
had a
got-
lot of discussions about it last year, and I
Yeah.
think it was probably a day late. But that's something I wanna stay on top of. Looks like we're having a pretty dry year, so it might be a mitigated,
Well, we
concern,
did-
but-
on- for the ticks, we could hope for a lot of snow.
yeah.
Yeah.
You get a good snow base, it really knocks the tick population down. Tim and I went out to Springfield for our educational conference to get our credit hours for our licenses. And I went to Hot Topics, and the new Hot Topic is the Lone Star tick that is making its way back
'Cause
towards
it's warm.
Massachusetts.
Yes.
Because we're having mild
Is that
winters.
the one?
And its original area was
Texas.
No, it was up this high.
Oh, it was.
But because of colder years and everything else,
Okay.
it pushed it down, and now
Gotcha.
it's coming back. It's the one that can give you the
Allergy to meat.
allergy to meat, which
Yeah.
can cause anaphylaxis and
Yeah.
everything else, so that's the new,
Fun.
that's the up and coming tick, so Lyme disease wasn't enough, and then,
Babsiosis.
What's it called?
Babsiosis.
and then there was
Babsiosis.
the one that they found in Sharon.
Powassan.
Yes.
Powassan.
Yep, house on,
Yep.
I say it wrong every time.
It's okay.
So, yeah, so I'm like, oh, just.
Add that.
And, I mean, the only way to cull the deer population is, it's the only way to really mitigate it, and, you know, so, that's not gonna happen anytime soon.
No, we can see an expansion of hunting seasons, maybe we can get people to stop feeding them
Yeah,
and just do that.
cause when I was a kid, you had dog ticks and that was it,
Yeah.
No?
and you play in the woods, you get a tick in
All
your head.
day, you'd play out there all day, right?
Yeah, come home with 3 or 4 ticks in your head, and whatever,
Pick them off.
take a match, pull out, you know.
No.
So, yeah. I appreciate you, you know,
Yeah, no,
recognize
and
us,
I mean that, it was,
Yeah.
a lot of work this year, a lot of, things, obstacles. Good deal, like I said, I'll be pushing hard on the mosquito, cause I know what'll happen, we'll talk about it in May. And
Yeah,
what
let's-
what we'll
let's-
talk
let's-
about is how many mosquitoes are
The
present.
state's pretty good about it though, I mean, they're,
Well, we can.
And the county.
Yeah, we get the Bristol County mosquito control in here early, like March.
Sounds
You know what
good.
I mean? Maybe set up for the March meeting and,
do the pucks in the, cedar swamp.
yeah, and the,
I'd like to expand on that too, though, that's what we discussed last
Yeah.
year.
so, and they're the ones we need to talk to, because when I reached out, they said the railroad bed is not one of their areas, and I don't know why she didn't elaborate on it, and,
Standing water everywhere, right, and neighborhoods on each side of the tracks.
yeah, right.
To me, that's, I don't know, that's an opportunity.
Yeah, an opportunity to mitigate, yeah. And, I mean, they still, and if you notice this year, and I can say it now, cause we've had a hard frost, we didn't have triple E this year. Can you believe that? We're usually the one that has it, and everyone else, and you know, I swear, and I'm gonna knock on wood, because they do the larviciding in the spring, I swear it makes a difference. Because every year since we've had that, even when we have a triple E positive, it seems like we're not getting multiple positive samples. It seems like it does work, so. That's always a good thing.
I don't have anything else.
Good.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn at 6:23.
Yeah,
All those
Second.
all those in favor, Mills, yes.
Me and yes?
Bueller, yes.
We are adjourned
Thank you.
for 2024.
Thanks for